Recently, I've been using a lot of vibe coding tools, and Replit is one of those tools. Now, the way I use these vibe coding tools is I enter my idea, I get some output. Usually, that is more like an internal dashboard or some feature that we have been working on. And I use this output to talk to stakeholders and get their opinions on it. Typically, a product manager handles this by either doing it on whiteboard or taking help of a designer. So, you describe the idea to your designer, and the designer gives you some designs in Figma. But ever since these vibe coding tools have hit the market, I have been using them for creating these rapid prototypes, and they have been amazing. So in this video, I'm going to look at Replit. When I first tried it ever, I just used it for a landing page. I never really thought of giving it a second try. I knew Replit was meant for developers and it was more like an online editing experience, and so it did not really make sense for me to try Replit. I always thought it was meant for developers, but I tried this tool again, and this time I tried it with a different example, and it was for an order management tool for an e-commerce company. So I just made up a scenario and I entered the prompt and I got the result. So I want to show you a quick demo of what Replit is capable of and what are some of their features that I find interesting, but also some features that kind of scare me or make me anxious. So let's get into it. Now, this is a logged in experience. Right on the main screen, they have an option to enter the prompt, and on the left hand side, they have rest of the functionalities or features. The first look and feel of this product makes me believe that it is meant for software engineers, and the reason is the software engineering tools tend to be much more complicated if you have seen any of those. It still has that common element that you find in other vibe coding tools, that you do have a main screen which has a prompting tool. So here what I'm going to do is enter a prompt that is meant for this order management dashboard, and I just want to see how the output is like. So let me just paste the prompt here. I want to close the side tab. If I go through this prompt very quickly, what I have asked for is an order management internal dashboard, and it has got all these features. So I'm looking at list of all orders, customer details, statuses, so on and so forth. So here they have an option to attach a file. So if I want to attach an image or anything like that, I could do it. They also have an option to choose the theme, which is either auto theme, or they have some examples here. I'm not sure what that really will change, so I'm going to stick to whatever is the auto theme. And here they have an option to improve the prompt if I would like to. For now, I'll leave my prompt as it is. I want to see what the tool comes up with. I'll just click on Start Chat. So it's in the plan mode right now, and it's saying that I understand you want to build an order management dashboard. Let me create a comprehensive plan for this internal tool. Now, this is one of the features I like about Replit, because before giving me the output like you see in Lovable or V0, they actually make me approve the plan. It's sort of brainstorming with me. It's asking me if this is correct and if the plan is okay, and then they will go into the building part. So here it's saying designing a visual preview, so that's happening on the side, and ready to build, approve the plan when you are ready. Now, if you want, you can edit this or you can approve the plan. So for now, I will go with whatever default things they have suggested, and if you're doing it for the second or third time, it would make sense to go and edit. But now I want to just see what their output will be like. So here I will simply say approve plan. Now, this kind of feature is available in other tools also, but it's a separate discuss mode or it's a chat mode, and that's been added to these tools. So all tools have similar features by now. All right, so it's determining next steps. The plan has been approved, so it should start working on it now. I had zoomed in my screen earlier, so I'm going to zoom out a little to get a full view of what they are showing me as output. While this is working in the background, I want to talk about few things here when it comes to users' experience. The whole experience makes me feel like it's quite overloaded with actions and functionalities. So at the moment, it still has the main focus on two things, which is the chat panel on the left hand side here, and it has a right hand side view. But if you go and click on any of these things, it will feel very developer heavy or geared towards developer. And maybe that is their target segment, and maybe I'm not supposed to be using this tool in the first place. I also noticed that you can have your multiple agents. So I'm not sure what this means. If you click on plus sign, it will create a whole different tab. Once you click on something, it just opens up a lot of other things that I'm not sure what to really focus on. So unless you are well versed with using Replit from the past, I'm not sure if this will be a best tool for someone who is non-programmer, non-coder, trying to use it for vibe coding an app. Now on the right hand side, it has created some visual preview, and the preview looks good. It is considering all the items that I have mentioned in my initial prompt. It is saying that this is a visual preview of your app, and the agent is currently creating a fully interactive version. So I have to wait for that to happen. Also, these apps take a lot of time nowadays to give you the output, and I've seen Replit taking the most amount of time. I think that's because it tries to do a lot of other things which I may not need in the first version. I'm not sure. So it may be suitable for software engineers because it tries to do a lot of things in the background here. Now, while this is working, I'm just going to click on this plus sign and see what it does. So I can open a similar tab over here, which is same as this tab, and it says search for files and tools. It feels like I have access to all the features in Replit. And so it might be a powerful tool, but unless I've seen the first app and try to use it and try to deploy it, I don't feel comfortable using rest of the features yet. So I'm going to leave it there. Also, they have these rest of these features. You could add a pane, you could move a tab. So it has thought of multiple workflows. If you are an experienced person, I think this will be quite easy. But just to give you a comparison of how other tools look like, so let me just open this tool, which is everyone's favorite by now. And if I go to one of the projects here, you can see there is a stark difference between the amount of functionalities Lovable provides versus what you see in Replit. So there is a huge difference between the user's experience when it comes to using Replit. It's still working. I can see this running over here. I also have an option to stop. All right, I think it is loading my page here, and this has been done. This is completed, I think. So it seems like it's still running something, but I can now see the visual output here. So I can see that this dashboard is ready. And I must say the output is actually pretty good. You do get all the features that I have asked for in a prompt, but in addition to that, they have also added a search bar, which I had not asked for. And they had also added this refresh button, which is not there in the original prompt. And it seems to have considered certain elements. But if I click on it, let me see if anything works here. So if I click on this order, it does give me order details. So I get to see all the orders. I also have actions, which I had mentioned in the prompt, and I can mark it as shipped if I want. I get to see the statuses. I also can export it as a CSV. And so it does work. Let me see if the filters work here. If I click on open, it has filtered the results for all the open items. I can have dev tools. I have option to change the theme, and I can open this in a new tab. So let's see what happens here. Now this is without the left-hand side panel and all the other functionalities. And as you can see, this is a very nicely designed dashboard. This is what you would see in typical internal dashboards at companies. And when it comes to giving an output, it has done a very good job. So I like this one. So if I click on deploy, this is where it gets a bit more confusing. I have to upgrade, of course. I cannot simply deploy. This is another difference I noticed between Replit and other products. The deployment or publishing an app is not as difficult. I've noticed that you click on a publish button in all the other apps and it simply gives you an app that is hosted on their domain, but still the process of doing that is quite easy and quite simple. My understanding of Replit is it is aimed at software developers who are trying to vibe code an app. It was already a tool for software engineers, so they actually just added the AI functionality to it, and now we can vibe code as well. One difference that I noticed when it came to Replit's pricing is that they give you 10 public apps and then they have some agent usage also. It is different from other products where they limit you on the number of messages, that is the prompts, or they try to give you some limited credits. And here I can see that you could actually do 10 public apps, like a full-fledged app, which my guess is if I want to use this, I could have as many prompts as I like. And I'm not very sure whether they will limit me on the number of prompts. But for the use case that I'm looking at, I do not think I will exhaust any of these limits. So that was my impression of Replit. It somehow doesn't turn out to be my number one choice when it comes to prototyping. Also, my use case is quite limited. So if you're a product manager and if you have used Replit, let me know what you use it for and what kind of features do you use in Replit for your work. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.